So now we have our axe in the first pose, and we know that this box opens up on frame 80. So I want my axe to pop out around frame maybe 103. This is kind of chopping off the edge of it there, so I'll do this a little bit more. Yeah, that's looking good. So to do this, I need to go ahead and start doing my second pose. So I'm going to select all and recognize that I could put this. Let's go ahead and put this in the second pose, and we'll see the problem with doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit S to set a keyframe. And that sets a keyframe on everything. Right? And then I'm going to go ahead and deselect this piece here just by holding Shift, and I'm going to unfurl the axe like this, and maybe rotate it forward, and then nobody can see underneath here. So I want it to be a little higher up. So I'm going to pop it up in the air a little bit. And move it forward. All right. So I got all of that. That is the pose I want this axe to be in. So I just want to make sure I select everything and hit S, whether I'm working in auto key or not. I do that because now I know that whatever is on frame 103 is exactly this pose, right? If I forget to adjust a control or something like that, nothing else can change this pose. Here's the problem with that, is now I have this slow transition from frame 0 to 100, right? And actually, I probably want that to be closer to like 110. So what I really would like to do is have this pose a little later here so it pops up quicker. So again, I can select all and do that middle mouse drag out to here and then hit S. And then what I get is a little 5-frame that, right? Which is a little faster than I think I want, but that's all right. So we got our next two poses, and it pops up, and that's great, but it could be more interesting, really. And like that's just very blah, blah. Let's get a 6 so we can see it here. I'm just going to hide my environment so we can see it a little more clearly too. Maybe the barrel, that's getting distracting. And so, pop up. And so again, maybe I even want to have this first frame here a little lower so you can't see the axe. Ta-da! So, I want a shot, or I want a pose where we go past this final pose so we can come back to this pose, right? And so that's an overshoot pose. So I'm going to copy this entire pose, select all, and maybe go back to out to like here and just hit S. And so now I can hit this pose, and I can actually push this pose bigger, right? So just so I can see this better, maybe I push it up higher. I can translate a little bit if I want to, but right now I want to go over. And so what I get now is it goes past it and back. And I think that this pose here now should probably be a little further forward, like this. Now to make that even more interesting, I'm probably going to add a pose right through here that, like right now the tip of the nose is going through the front of the box, and it just kind of all unfolds together. So what I'd like to do, maybe get closer to the end here, maybe somewhere like this, and go ahead and set a keyframe on everything. And I'll probably go ahead and push this up just a little bit more. And I want to drag the front of this as if it's taking a little bit longer to happen. Right? Maybe a little bit of something like this. Let's try that. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I got to make sure to grab everything and hit this. Let's see. There we go. So now it kind of unfolds, right? Now I do want to point out that, like I said, most of these cases I am rotating. But if I want to exaggerate this a little bit, I could probably do a little bit of translating. So, you know, I'll go back here and change this pose just a little bit. But my nose is coming through here, so if I wanted to, I could grab this and just, try manipulating this a little bit just by translating it. What does that do? And it's not perfect. I maybe don't want to do a ton of it, but it does help me get to this pose that I'm looking at. Right? Maybe something like that. Another place I might want to do this is I might want to stretch it here in this pose. So stretch this up, and that really exaggerates it. Right? So we get this, ta-da,